If you're studying for the INBDE, I highly recommend INBDE Bootcamp, an all-in-one study resource that will help you pass your exam. Use coupon code MENTALDENTAL for 10% off. Hey everyone, Dr. Ryan here, and welcome back to Mental Dental. This is going to be a really short video, but it's an important topic because I want to equip you for tackling the pharmacology section of your board exam. Whether you're studying for the ADAD or the INBDE, pharmacology is a difficult topic, and it's notorious for not being people's favorite subject to study for, and I get that. I was the same way. Pharmacology was not necessarily my favorite. It's challenging, it can be a little bit boring, but it is important and it makes up a big portion of your exam. So in this video, I want to share what I did when I studied for pharmacology and what really worked for me. Now, in today's day and age, there's a ton of digital resources out there for studying, digital flashcards and things of that nature. For pharmacology, I love going back to physical flashcards. And I'll show you what I do because I don't put a whole lot on a flashcard. I think they're way more effective if you have minimal information on there. And there's so many drugs that could potentially come up on the board exam. There could be 100 potential drugs that show up. But I want there to be just a little bit of information I know about each of those drugs. So I'm not memorizing 10 or 12 facts about each, I'm memorizing 3. And the 3 most important things that I think you can know about a drug that'll show up on the board exam, beyond the name of the drug, is what it's used for, what it's prescribed for, the disease or condition that it's treating, the mechanism of action, the mode of action, how that drug is working, and then a main side effect that that drug has. So I'll give you some examples. Here's lisinopril, important medication, can absolutely show up on the board exam and probably will. Here's the back, 3 quick things. What it's used to treat. HTN stands for hypertension. The mechanism of action, ACE inhibitor, so it's blocking the angiotensin converting enzyme. And then a main side effect that it can cause is a dry cough. So those are 3 things. And notice that I love using these shorthand, easier to write and remember for my brain at least. So those are the 3 bullet points that I want you to remember for lisinopril. Here's another one. HCTZ, hydrochlorothiazide. Also used to treat hypertension. It is a diuretic, so it causes diuresis, which is urination. And lo and behold, side effect, frequent urination. And that's how it's lowering pressure in the bloodstream. You're losing fluid to urine. So this is another important medication to remember. Here's another one, omeprazole. Omeprazole is used for gastroesophageal reflux disease, or GERD. It is a proton pump inhibitor, that's how it works, and it can cause headaches. Here's another one, isoniazid, important medication. It is a strong antibiotic that's used to treat tuberculosis. How does it work? It inhibits mycolic acid synthesis. Mycolic acid is an important component of mycobacterium, which are a very strong bacteria, the same type that causes tuberculosis, Mycobacterium tuberculosis. And this medication can cause hepatitis because it's harsh on the liver. So the 3 bullet points for that one. How about this medication, albuterol? Albuterol is used to treat asthma. It's an emergency inhaler, so if someone has an asthma attack, it can help with that. How does it work? It's a beta-2 agonist, so it opens up the airways, making it easier to breathe, but it can cause dry mouth or xerostomia. Think of that for anything that's an inhaler. Here's prednisone, another type of inhaler. This is a corticosteroid that's used sometimes for asthma, also for COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. It inhibits phospholipase A2, so it has anti-inflammatory characteristics. But it can cause candidiasis because it weakens the immune system. Immune response would be weakened in the mouth if you're using it as an inhaler. It can cause an infection with something like candidiasis fungi. So just an example of 6 little index cards here. And how I would actually study this is I would make this a physical deck, and I would go through them one by one, and I'd look at it, and I would try to rehearse or recite those 3 bullet points. If I get it right, then I would check it and I would put it off to the side. It would be complete. If I don't get it right, so if I miss even one of those bullet points, I would put it at the back of the deck. Okay, so then I would do lisinopril, and let's say I get all 3 bullet points right, put it to the side. Prednisone, okay, I forgot that it inhibited phospholipase A2, so now it's gonna go in the back of the deck. And I'm gonna keep going through this deck until I'm done, until all of them go to the side and I remember and can recite all 3 bullet points. That is spaced repetition, very effective, and I just love having the tangible flashcards. So hopefully that helps. That is what I used for pharmacology. It worked really well for me, and just a quick, tip for you, and I think it just helps tremendously. So if it did help, if this was a helpful video for you, I would love to know. Leave a comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends. All of that really helps me know that it's helpful for you, and also helps with all the algorithm stuff. So really appreciate that. Guys, thank you again for watching. Thanks for being a part of the mental dental community. God bless all of you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.